Welcome to our Independence Day special. We have a very fun show here on The Five. We're answering all of your fan mail questions from social media on this 4th of July. So let's not waste any more time and get right to it. Our very first question, it comes from Ronald Buck Bowers, and it says, if you could go back to the first Independence Day, which founding father would you hang out with? Kimberly.
Well, let's see. I don't know. I guess one of my favorites always is John Adams.
Why?
Well, because I think he was just historically very significant. I think that, people more recently have come to understand his value, his influence, and how important he was in American political history, some of his ideals, and also his wife. I think it was quite a powerful pair.
The wife?
Of John Adams.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I think there are two Adams presidents, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Jesse?
I thought you were going to say Sam Adams.
No, that's your choice.
That was mine.
On the 4th of July.
Well,
I would say
Strong
Ben
choice.
Franklin because I'm a Philly guy, and he was a big influence down in Philadelphia. He was laid to rest there. Also a real Renaissance man like myself, a musician, a prolific writer, discovered electricity. So we have a lot in common on that front. And the Poor Richard's Almanac, very inspiring quotes about work and life, and I enjoyed that. I'd like to hang with Ben.
That's cool. And I bet you share humility.
Thanks, Juan. I tasted the sarcasm there.
Dana, where would you be hanging out?
I like George Washington. I've always admired him. Plus, he wrote Rules of Civility. Remember all of those rules that you have to follow?
Good choice.
Yeah. I'm going to ask him about that cherry tree.
You know what's interesting about your answers? I don't think he was married, right? Not for the longest time. Martha comes along, but for the longest time.
I don't know when he got married, but they were married at some point.
Are you saying she wants to hang out with you, Doug?
I don't know.
That was
Single?
very strange.
Because,
I don't know.
no, because
It was the
recently
first
one of
G,
the theories is that he was
She has a
able to
thing
be
for men
George
with those
Washington,
initials.
the father of our country, because he wasn't preoccupied with a lot of families.
Well, he was a busy guy.
Busy
a lot
guy.
on his mind.
Indeed.
A lot on his mind.
Our founding father at this very table, Greg.
I'd have to say Bob Lutz. He's the unknown founding father. Nobody talks about Bob, but he was there every step of the way. Bob Lutz. You don't know Bob Lutz?
No, I don't.
I rest my case. Actually, I have to say, I find this whole question sexist. Aren't we done with the whole idea of founding fathers? What about founding mothers? What about the founding mothers?
person?
How about founding founders?
Founding founders. And why are we recognizing gender anyway with our founding fathers?
Yeah,
it's
we probably should
disgusting.
stop that.
It's so heteronormative.
Are you going back to the purple penguin thing?
Yes.
Well, I think I'd hang out with you guys, with Ben and you.
Okay.
That'd be, because, I mean, Ben's in the newspaper business, you know?
He is.
Right? So I would like that.
He was a partier. He had 2 beds in his bedroom because he'd get tired when the bed was warm, and so he'd get up and move to the other bed because it was cool.
God, that sounds like you.
Yes,
He
definitely.
needed one of those beds with the temperature control.
Yeah, yeah.
You need a king size.
He would have
Just roll
invented
from
that.
the left to the right.
Wow. Okay, let's do another question.
Right.
It says here,
Absolutely.
this one comes from Patricia Hazelton. How do you like to celebrate the 4th of July?
Oh, yes.
Jesse.
Beer, barbecue, and fireworks.
Fireworks. Dana.
Well, I'm going to say dogs. No, I don't know. I like hanging out, being with everybody. I like to go to the parade. Wherever I am, I like a small town parade, big town parade. But usually small town parade is really good. And lately, because Peter has the Harley with the sidecar, and then Jasper can get in it, and all the kids love that. So I like the morning of the 4th of July, even better than fireworks.
Wow, great.
Cool.
I don't like fireworks. I'm like a dog. They scare me. And I don't like parades because I'm short and I can't see over people. But I'm going to be honest with
You can
everybody.
get on my shoulders.
I know. People will talk. I'm going to be honest. I'm actually not here. I'm not here. I'm celebrating the 4th of July the way I would like to. Right now, I'm sitting on an island. I'm not going to tell you what island, but I'm sitting on an island right now.
They're going to edit
This is a
that
taped
out.
show.
Yeah, excellent. Kimberly.
Okay, well, I'm like Dana. I love a good parade. I also really enjoy Dana's 4th of July posts and pictures, and with
They've been
Jasper.
pretty good lately.
They've been very strong, so I love it. Really just like celebrating our nation, our independence, our liberty, our freedom, and I think it's great when people come together and go in a parade, and I'm into that, the whole deal, to commemorate it and, take a moment, because we all have such busy lives, to never forget, the sacrifices that people made so that we can sit here today and have this show and speak our minds, and it's fantastic. It's amazing, most wonderful country in the world.
So my favorite is to find a high spot in Washington, D.C. to watch the fireworks. But the one I remember most is being in Boston and watching the Boston Pops play as the fireworks were going off over Boston. I thought that was spectacular.
Nice.
And who was that? Arthur, I forget the name of the famous conductor. Anyway, it was
Fiedler.
Arthur Fiedler.
Thank you very much.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about the 4th of July is just it's an opportunity to do fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
And so fireworks, when I was a kid, mostly illegal, but everybody would bring on these trash cans and these big boom, boom, boom. I love that stuff.
Best place to see fireworks right now? My hot tub.
Wait a minute, I thought you were on an island.
Yes.
He's got a hot tub.
I'm in.
You're in.
You have me at controlled
What about
water.
out west? They do fireworks out in the
They
ranch?
do. Well, some years because it's so drouthy out there that they don't like to have fireworks in case there starts a wildfire. So sometimes we would just get those little snakes and sparklers. That was usually the extent.
That's
of
lame.
fireworks.
That's really lame.
It was also responsible.
That's the weakest type of firework. You got to get the Roman candles.
Yeah, I'm not
Those
for
are the
that.
way to go, or the M80s. Those are my
Yeah,
favorite.
man.
I'm against
I can
Roman
tell.
candles. Cultural appropriation.
All right.
snaps.
Here's the third question from Cindy Carol Allen Carley. What traditions did you have for the 4th of July when you were children? So let's go back this way, Kimberly.
Yeah, sure. Well, my brother and I used to really love to do the fireworks, and so it was really fun to be able to go and shop for them. What?
That's so... never mind.
We did.
Just edit
We
me
loved
out.
it. And then, ignore him. Spoiler alert. And so I loved that. So we would do that and go pick out the fireworks. It was like a family tradition to go and get them ahead of time. And we do a whole thing on the block to, do the fireworks and invite everybody to come. And then my dad had us sweep up the streets after to clean up everyone's fireworks. And then my brother would stockpile them. And then the fire department came and we got in trouble.
Uh-oh. That's a rarity for you as a kid to get in
Well, it
trouble.
was mostly due to my brother, let's be honest.
All right.
I was dragged in
You got a waiver there.
unnecessarily. Yeah.
Jesse.
I did the same thing. Fireworks were illegal in Philadelphia, so we'd have to go down to Chinatown or way across state lines somewhere else and then bring them across and then light them. And I'd do it with my dad, and I still have all my fingers, so safety first.
Safety first. I'm glad to hear that. I think there's a New York Giants football player who could have used that lesson.
I remember that we would do a family baseball game or family softball game. And,
fun.
and have a picnic, but that was always a big deal.
What position would you play?
I don't really remember. It was more like they were kind of serious about it, the adults.
Yeah, they'd probably stick you out in right
Yeah,
field.
cheerleader.
Oh, but they let
That's
the
a
kids
diss,
play.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg?
Frank gets the least action.
We used to do something called fireworks. You guys heard about that? Yeah, we go get some fireworks.
Right.
They scared you.
No, you know what was they scared. You know what was always the best part was not. It was going shopping, because you'd always have to go to these stands that were by your school, and you'd either have to buy you wanted the big box, and the big box had all the stuff in it, but you weren't sure if you had all the right stuff. So then you'd fight, and then all of a sudden it just got banned.
Do they have fireworks in California, or is it too patriotic?
No. Yes, it's. We used to have them, and then they took them away. Like they've taken everything
Global
away.
warming probably
Yes.
causes, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, for me, when I was a kid, I think the idea was, in my mind, I thought everybody else was having a picnic. But I grew up in a big city, and my parents weren't doing that. So I just thought, oh, it'd be great to go on a picnic. That would be Americana. The other thing is, though, so when I got married on July 1st. And so on July 4th, we didn't go on a honeymoon, but we were walking around Washington waiting for the fireworks. And I got to tell you, it was great, because the crowds come, people are happy. You talk about a moment of American unity. It's nothing like everybody celebrates the 4th of July. I don't care where you are.
Unity goes away on the 5th.
All right. Question 6. Here we go. This comes from Nancy Colburn. If we travel back to 1776, what would your occupation be? Greg Gutfeld.
I think I would be a time travel agent, because if there were people coming back, I would have to be in charge of making their plans.
Wow.
Commission on that.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder what the commission would be on that. Okay, Dana.
Well, I would like
Pennies.
to, because if I'm being realistic, what job would they have given a woman in 1776 at that time? Probably not. I'm not probably going to get to be a scout.
No.
I would like to be a scout. I don't know. Probably, I would hope that I would be able to do some sort of writing or teaching or
You
something
could do
like
public
that.
relations.
Yeah, I mean, that's
They
true.
had public relations back then.
Always.
Yeah.
Always had public
Yeah, but they didn't
relations.
have women do it.
I love it. I would be a lawyer. I'm just going to say that I would just force my way into it. Somehow, some way.
To be a lawyer.
Yeah, maybe if I had to, disguise myself. And then I would do it. Yeah.
And
Because you have
Jesse-
those little white wig things that you put on, and then I would just like, they
That's
wouldn't know.
true.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
All right. Jesse, I have something in mind for you.
Okay.
I think that you should go and fight against the British. I think you should be a soldier.
I probably would have been on the British side, though, because those
no.
were my people. I would have been a redcoat, Juan.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and if I was on the British side, we probably would have won. I would have been the difference maker. I wanted to think about what I wanted to do. I wanted to be one of the Midnight Riders that rode with Paul Revere to warn that the British were coming. I think I'd be really good at just yelling on the top of a horse.
Just like Water's World.
Can I change mine? I want to be a cobbler.
Why? You want to touch people's shoes?
I don't know. It just
Gross.
seems like it'd be fun to sit around and just hammer on people's feet. Be a cobbler.
Wow.
Yeah.
On their feet. I think on their shoes is what you mean.
Well, feet, shoes. Can't tell back then. Very leathery.
Well, if the Founding Fathers are watching via space or psycho something, don't be offended. Greg didn't mean it.